Hello everyone, this is the Captain Swan podcast number 46. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and everyone is here tonight. It's not here. Let's go to introductions.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and You Brought Me Home.
Hi, I'm Mai, and I'm Pelham before she yawned.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm to the end of the world or time.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I'm Ginny Jinx Rita.
Hi, I'm Steph, and I'm Bookstore Romantic.
Okay, so the group is all here, and we have some questions. We have a bunch of questions, so I think we should start there.
That would be a good idea. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yeah, questions are great.
Okay, let's start with a general question, not about the episode. Jholden76 says, I love the podcast. Besides all the Fab Captain Swan developments, what's been your favorite part of 4A?
Christoph!
Of course.
I know, everyone was shocked at that answer, right? Totally shocking.
Yeah, the ugly duckling me.
Charming's backstory. Yay.
Charming backstory, reunion between Anna, Kristoff, and Charming, and the Snow Queen's redemption arc.
Emma flashbacks for once in our lives.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Frozen Swan.
Yeah, Emma flashbacks, and definitely all the Frozen people.
Yeah, Frozen Swan, Emma flashbacks, the actress playing young Emma, because we knew from last season that she looked like young Emma, but we didn't know if she could act, if she could play Emma, and I think she was great. And the Snow Queen. The Snow Queen, I didn't like how it ended because I wanted her to live, but I loved her character.
I love that she was a villain that actually realized she was wrong and fixed
I
it.
know, right?
So shocking.
So refreshing.
I know. I mean, I wasn't real crazy about it the first
I
time.
was mad.
Like 5 minutes ago, and it actually played better the second time.
Yes, definitely. Well, for me, it was because the first time my computer was acting up, so I couldn't really see it. So.
Well, the first time I was like, okay, this is over. Can we please get to Rumple now?
You know, it's kind of funny. I was kind of the same way. I just wanted 10 to be done so that I could get to the main, story. But when I watched it, I didn't think I was going to feel anything for this Snow Queen because I really hadn't felt anything for her most of the time except just wanting her gone. But the way that they played it at the end, and then when they superimposed the flashbacks, or the way she was seeing it in her mind, the happy ending that she got to run with her, as she was when they were children, and being able to run together, and the music playing over that, I teared up.
I was crying. I was
Mark
mad.
Isham's score is incredible.
Mark Isham is a genius. Like, hi, sir, I love you.
I will admit fully, it made me cry because it was.
Speaking of random aside, we never got a season 3 score, and I'm very upset about this.
Right?
Yes, because that we could have gotten our Captain Swan theme, and we never got it.
Actually, during that scene of the Snow Queen dying, I was just expecting Emma and Elsa to do something and to figure out a way to save her. Because I haven't rewatched the episode where Anna was under the curse, the Shattered Sight curse, but she was able to get uncursed without the Snow Queen dying. So I just kept thinking, why could...
But that was just a small part of the spell, like a small portion.
Emma and Elsa did nothing in that scene. The only active person was Anna, who found the cave so miraculously.
And very fast.
Yeah.
Like, she was
Yes.
all the way by the water, and suddenly she's in the cave, and I was like, did you beam there?
She knew where shit was, apparently.
Did you get a
I
map of Storybrooke?
Probably.
Can we get a map of Storybrooke?
Yes.
Well,
That'd be nice.
considering in episode 2, when he showed up, he said that he had checked the perimeter and that the ice wall went around the whole town. If he could do that by himself in just a couple of hours, then the town could not be that big. Honestly.
And yet it's big enough to hold an entire forest, and who knows what else.
Thousands of people.
Mountains.
Anyway, I was expecting Emma to actually do something to save the day, and I'm quite upset that she once again they didn't let her be the hero, and they haven't let her
Well,
be the
okay.
hero
Did anybody see the interview that Em and Eddie did with EW today? And in
I
it,
saw parts of it.
Eddie says that happy endings are essentially in the eye of the beholder, and he's talking about Rumple, but I think he also means that, we can also extrapolate it to meaning the Snow Queen. She said what she wanted. All she wanted was to know that her sisters loved her, and she got that, and so she considered herself that was her happy ending. She didn't want Emma and Elsa to save her.
He even said so. She said, Emma's gonna bring me to my happy ending.
And she did.
Okay, but it wasn't even Emma. It was Hannah who convinced her to stop with the spell.
Okay,
Yeah, but if it wasn't for Emma, Elsa wouldn't, if it wasn't for Emma, then the Snow Queen would have never come to Storybrooke. Then Emma would have never gone back in time to fetch Elsa, and none of this would have happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's still Emma didn't do anything active. I wanted her character to be more active. It just
actually,
keep happening.
when you think about it, she went to the vault to confront Regina, and Regina ended up escaping and sending Anna to the beach where she found the bottle in the first place. So it was really Emma who did everything.
Yeah, honestly,
the
Emma
hero by stretching situations.
Emma was pretty active.
The domino effect.
Because it was Emma's idea to go and confront Regina and use, the power of true hate.
I mean, trust me. I want to see Emma magically kick the ass of someone just as much as everybody else does, but I don't think magically she's there yet. So they're just. I think they're just showing that her savior abilities do not just lie in her magically being able to kick someone's ass.
She kicked Regina's ass pretty well there.
Pretty good.
It's her compassion and her empathy for others that makes her such a great person. And
I think there was purpose behind those end scenes that Emma couldn't act against her. The Snow Queen said, in the end, you're not going to be able to kill me. And she was right. And it was because when she realized that she really did love this woman.
Well, also, we had the whole thing at the end of the Wicked Witch arc. Heroes don't kill, right?
Exactly.
They had a closeness. They had a mother-daughter thing. This was the first person who had offered her some sort of
Emma didn't know that at that point. Emma didn't know that until she got her memories back, which at that point, the Snow Queen was already killing herself.
Yeah. So is this like closure for her now that she knows everything?
I think so.
Does she know everything? Because it said it was happy memories. It didn't say it was I pulled you in front of a car memories. Does she remember how it ended?
Probably not.
I'm pretty sure she does. Yeah.
Something like
I don't think
all your memories. Didn't Ingrid say something about all your memories?
Well, see, I'm a little confused because she did that bit earlier in the episode where it looked like she was pulling like little bits, like little crystals out of those rocks, and I'm like wondering if those were the bad memories that she was taking out of the whole thing, and that all that was left was the good memories, and that's what she gave back.
I don't think so, because this is her last dying wish, and I don't think that she would hold anything back. Honestly.
Yeah,
I
think she probably gave all of the memories, but that's not what she said she had.
Yes. I think Emma and Elsa both deserve to have everything, the good and the bad.
But
they can still have their positive feelings for Ingrid, but
But
tempered
in
by
the
the
end,
fact
she's
that
like,
crazy
you
stuff.
deserve to have your memory. So I think it was the bad ones as well.
Hopefully this next episode will clarify that. Or not.
Probably
It
not.
won't.
No.
It's too busy doing other shit. Like apparently serving Belle breakfast in bed.
Oh dear.
Okay, we have another question from Anonymous. What do you guys think of the true hatred thing?
I love it.
It was
I thought it was hilarious.
I laughed so hard.
I mean, the jumps of logic in this episode were almost as bad as the jumps of logic in the last episode. Not as bad. I didn't have as many problems with it. But it was like, oh, let's just go to Regina and, like, get her to hopefully not kill us. And also take these ribbons off with her pure hatred for me. And I'm going to totally, like, jab her to get her to do it.
I almost kind of feel like Eddie and Adam are like, these Swan Queens are so strong and they want to see this connection. So guess what? You guys got it. We're going to give it to you. In the worst possible way imaginable.
Come on,
Here's your
it was
connection, guys.
a slap in
True
the
hate.
face. It was a slap in the face to the shippers. It was like,
Yeah, if I were a Swan Queen shipper, I'd be so pissed.
But
Yeah,
it's not like it's a lie. It's the truth.
No, it's what's been on the show the whole time, but they're like crazy and deluded and don't see it.
Oh dear. It's like
Yes, I said
gloats-
crazy and deluded.
well, they are.
She gloats about her boyfriend and then runs off with her girlfriend. Yeah, I'm seeing some signals there. Swan Queen ain't gonna happen, people.
Okay, another question. Okay, Anonymous says, "Hi, I love the episode. I wanted to know a few things about the characters this episode." Oh, these are personal questions. They want to know, Serena, your opinion on Regina, Michelle, opinion on Rumple, and my opinion on Christoph.
Yes!
Tell us your opinion on Christoph.
Oh, okay, first of all, Queen, step away from my Kristoff. You are not allowed to move the air as him, okay? He is pure of heart. And you are a bitch. You do not have one pure bone in her body. Like, seriously, when she slapped him, I was like, bitch, no, you did not just do that. You did not just do that. But seriously, I love, and I'm going to include Charming in this as well. But Charming and Kristoff for itself is two teenage boys.
That was freaking hilarious.
Kristoff's, Anna has baby Charming, and everyone's fighting, and Kristoff is throwing paper balls at Charming's face. Paper balls. These are two grown adults, and their worst selves are calling people Iceman,
And Stable Boy.
Stable Boy, and throwing ice balls. It's like, throwing paper balls. And, I'm sorry, and my favorite line was, ice is a hot commodity, okay? I was like,
That
I liked him going, pick me, pick me.
And the Cristana scene was perfect because she's like, you postponed my wedding for that. I don't know. I'm just gonna walk away with Dale. Okay, I'm gonna punch you. And then Anna started forgetting he's unconscious, and she's like, punch you. Oh wait, you're unconscious. Oh, you're unconscious.
Was I the only one who thought that Charming saying that Arendelle is frozen made no sense? Because Arendelle wasn't always frozen. It was just frozen for like 2 days when Elsa had her tantrum, and it was normal the rest of the year.
Well,
So
I think what he was
Actually,
It's
implying
still like Norway.
northern
Like they get
climb,
snow
so it's
and
like
they have
colder,
reindeer.
longer, and stuff. I think that's what he meant.
Yeah, probably.
And maybe word got back to the Enchanted Forest that it had been frozen over before everyone went to Storybrooke.
Probably.
Plus, Kristoff himself was literally ice, like last
For
episode.
30 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle, your opinion on Rumple?
Die in a fire! Oh my
A bale
god.
fire.
I'm done. There. To me, at this point, there is no possible way Rumple could be redeemed. I don't want to see him rebel. I want to see him stripped of his powers. He needs to leave my pirate alone and kindly go jump in front of a bus.
Belle's gonna
He
redeem
wasn't even
him
really
for
in the
Ruby.
episode.
You know what? Belle's gonna redeem him for Ruby.
I actually would not mind that at all.
Dude, it would be so good.
My opinion.
Well, I just her leaving him for different people. I just want her to leave him. Period. Just grab
Well,
grow some
apparently
balls and be
the
like,
Well, spoiler alert: the Rumbellers are gonna hate 413. So there's that.
That was too busy opening the library for Captain Swan to have sex in it.
Hold on.
Oh God!
It's gonna take them till it's gonna take them till episode 13 for them to finally break up. I thought by the end of Sunday's episode.
Well,
it'd
no.
be done.
Remember, the episode's called Unforgiven. So what I'm getting the impression of is that he tries to reason with her or something, and she's like, "Yeah, no."
I think they're
Hopefully.
gonna break up in this one, and 13's gonna be like, you know what? No, fuck no. Hell no.
Because remember, the last time she caved like the next day and was asking him for a cheeseburger. This is gonna go on for like a couple days. He's probably gonna think, well, she'll cool off and she'll take me back.
A couple days.
And then,
That's how pathetic their relationship is.
and then Belle will go, yeah, no, sorry.
For sure.
I hate to say it, but I really do think they're going to come up with some excuse for him.
Oh, for sure. Ali was already making up excuse in the Entertainment Weekly interview.
That was
Exactly.
total bull, huh? Like, I
was like, please don't tell me that.
He turned a dude into a snail and stepped on him for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
His shit under the rug again. If this happens again, and that Belle is gonna, I just can't. I mean, I know that they want people to see the characters as not being completely good or evil, having shades of gray, but this is beyond the beyond. I mean, it's too much.
Yeah.
They have crossed the line.
Okay.
They are in another continent. The line is in another continent.
And then my opinion on Regina. The truth is, I don't mean the Regina when she's being evil and she's supposed to be evil, because she's less annoying than when she is like a poor martyr victim Saint Regina. The problem was that Lana somehow forgot how to play the evil queen this episode. She was so over the top. I have no idea what she was doing. I don't know, was she sick? Did she miss playing the evil queen so much that she just went way overboard? I don't know.
Well, she hasn't done it for like maybe 10 episodes now.
Yeah,
I noticed that too.
I'm not Lana's biggest fan, but
doesn't work with computers.
I don't think necessarily it was at the top. I think it was.
iPods and iPhones.
I think it was.
that's a nuance.
Use them on the plane.
Hear a man's voice.
Very good.
I don't think it was necessarily over the top. I think it was just Regina in her worst possible light that you could view her in when she was at her absolute worst.
No, I wasn't talking about their behavior. I was just talking about the acting. Lana's acting. She was so campy. I didn't mean that she was particularly evil, because I've seen her be more evil, like in episode 7 of season 1 with Graham. She was super evil. This was just routine evil. It just the acting. It's just like, I mean, it's not easy to just talk to herself in the crypt. That was some terrible dialogue she got, so it's difficult to make it work. But she just went over the top, and it also made no sense that she forgot like what just happened, and somehow she thought Emma had locked her there. Just I don't know. The spell made no sense.
What irritated me about the whole Shattered Sight thing is that they touted this as being like darkest type of magic possible because it makes all this inner darkness come out, and that it was going to destroy and alter relationships forever, and yet the whole thing was like a big huge joke.
Yeah,
Well,
we actually have a question related to that, so I'm just gonna read it and then we can go on talking about the spell. Anonymous asks, in theory the spell of Shattered Sight is amazing, but from what we saw it's really lame. It's disappointing because they could have done so much with it. What do you guys feel about the spell?
Yes, I agree. It was very fucking lame because they made it out to be more than it was, and then everything you saw was just like a bunch of people having a fist fight. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed no one died.
It actually makes me more worried about the next episode. Because they went the humor route for like the big climax of the Snow Queen arc, it makes me think that next episode is not going to be as intense as it could be given the storyline and the stakes.
To be fair, the Snow Queen was never really the big villain of 4A. It's been Rumple, so it makes sense that the big climax, the big battle and emotional stakes will be when they finally address the Rumple issue.
But they haven't even led into that yet. It didn't end on a cliffhanger of them finding out about Rumple. So I don't know. I felt like before Shattered Sight that this mid-season finale was going to be super intense, and now I think it's only just going to be kind of intense.
Yeah, because
that makes sense.
They're already promoting the 4B villains, like they're already introducing them. So it feels like they are kind of already given up on having a big climax of the storylines of 4A.
Unless
I don't necessarily know that it's going to be a big climax. I mean, Rumple is clearly going to fail. And the whole point of this is to introduce the next people anyway. It's not like this is Han and they have to stop Han's curse or they're all going to go back.
But we also know how Once is. We've been watching this show for 4 years, and we know that in these big climactic episodes, they tend to be pretty coy about what's going on. And that's when things that you don't expect to happen. So they might not be showing us a lot of...
We don't know anything. Seriously.
They might not be showing us a lot of stuff because they want us to be surprised at what goes down. They want us to be on the edge of our seats.
And we know barely nothing. We've gotten one sneak peek, which doesn't surprise anybody.
Yeah.
I get that
we have very little script out thingies.
Jesus.
And
teasers, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get more.
Yeah, probably, but we have the photos are all basically the same scene. So
what irritates even more is that when the Snow Queen died and the spell was broken, you thought that there was going to be ramifications from the things that were said to each other, the emotions that were displayed, all these things that came out, and yet everyone's like happy joy.
Well, okay, wait a second.
Okay.
I do have something to say about that because in the first flush of the spell, I can see everybody just being relieved that it's over and nobody died, and it would only be like later, especially for a couple like Snow and Charming, where it's stuff they were sniping at each other, and it's like Anna said, it's just stuff that it annoys them, but they don't say anything. Well, now it's been said, and now. That could come into play later, and it's not going to be like right now because nobody died.
The only thing I'm disappointed about is that no secrets came out during Shattered Sight. Because
it was completely stupid because the one kind of big secret that Snow doesn't regret killing Cora was told when Regina wasn't there. The only one who could have had a reaction would be Regina, and she wasn't there when Snow said. And for the rest, the Snow and Charming argued over, warranties. What is this? Commercial law class? I don't know. We are doing commercial law or Once Upon a Time?
No, the thing that was most annoying was the fact that they brought up the whale thing again, and Snow didn't throw in his face the pregnancy scare with Catherine. which would have fucked up
Ooh.
their family way more than her sleeping with Whale once.
Who names a dog Ajax?
And anyway, we called last week that it was gonna be Lily's spell was gonna be lame from the thesis we got, and it was. There were so many things that they could have said to each other that would have been actually relevant to the story, but they
Yeah,
have
like there was
never.
no Bell. I wanted Bell to find out something, and I was like, no Bell. I was like, what?
Well, I think I know why they didn't show Belle, because they showed Belle in the mirror, and that would just be a retread of because we already saw her shattered sight persona in the mirror when she looked into it, so there's no
And
reason to show it again.
and
they
what
want to
about
save her. They want to save her big. Holy crap! My husband's a lying sack of shit for next week.
Uh-oh.
and
Scene missing when Henry ran away. Like, we should have seen Henry avoiding the brawl on the street or something, or getting involved in the brawl on the street. Like, he got out, and then there was nothing. It was like there was something missing there. We needed another little bit.
Yeah, like why didn't Hook catch him?
I don't think he
Like,
wanted to.
He didn't get delayed by Will that much.
Yeah, and I was
Oh,
like,
Will.
I'm not gonna try. Hook was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, but Henry's lived in that town all his life, practically.
He probably knows
And
where to
he
hide.
knows the ins and outs of that town very well. And if he wanted to hide and not be found, he could do it. Trust.
okay, we
Poor
have
Killian. Poor him being laid flat out on his ass by a bunch of marbles.
But here's my
That
question:
was-
How did Killian find him in the first place? 'Cause he
Rumpel
didn't-
told
he
him where he was.
Rumpel said that he didn't
Just walking
know.
around.
He couldn't proof him because he didn't know where Henry was. He didn't know where Henry had where.
He probably
where
just
his father
started
had sat.
searching. He probably just started searching the most likeliest places, and
Yeah,
knowing that
He
his
might
mother
have
works
known
there.
where, or he might have, had an idea, at least from Emma, like, oh, well, Regina's going to keep him safe. So where would Regina put Henry if Regina herself is in the vault?
He didn't
Yep.
know that either. Hook didn't know that
He's a
either. He
smart
was with
guy.
Rumpel the whole time.
See, I don't know. They
It's like Anna getting. It's like
sort
Anna
of
quickly
kind of
teleporting to
discussed.
the.
Like, you knew Regina and Henry went when they went to go see Robin, and
that was the
Henry
last
wasn't
time
with
Hook
Emma
knew
when he
his
saw her at the
whereabouts.
sheriff's station.
He was there at the town line when Charming tried to scale that wall and couldn't do it, and he was there when Regina said she was taking him.
Yeah, but
So
Regina said
wherever-
she was taking him to see Robin, and nobody knows where they got to after that except Robin, because Robin.
Except
talked to
Henry
Regina.
obviously wasn't with Emma when he saw her at the sheriff's station.
And he's smart enough to know that Regina's not going to leave Henry in the middle of the woods with Robin's merry men to get his butt beat. She's going to put him somewhere isolated, somewhere
Tied
safe
to a
where
tree.
nobody can possibly touch him. So
Robin
I'm
never did tie
sure,
herself to a
I'm
tree.
sure that he checked
Seriously.
the most likeliest places. She probably checked her house first and then the office. I mean, there's not that many places that Regina would
Yeah,
trust.
you look at the loft, you look at, there's only a handful of places that could be secured, I guess. Whatever, he found him because he's a resourceful pirate.
Yes.
And Rumpel apparently had other shit to do, which was absolutely nothing.
No,
His
he
timeline
has
was
stepdad
totally off
instinct.
too, huh? Like
Stepdad
before Hook went to the sheriff's station, he was like, "Oh, it's your last day on Earth. Enjoy it." And then, like, the next morning, he's like, "No, this is now your last day on Earth. Apparently, I can't read the stars properly. They won't be aligned until tonight."
He's not getting any younger, Rumpel.
Yes.
Oh god.
Okay, we have two questions, the two last questions. Anonymous asks, do you really think we are going to get sexy times for Captain
Yes.
Swan in the winter finale?
Yes.
I really want it
Yep.
to happen, but I just don't know if we are going to get it. I don't want to get my hopes up. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
We
I
gotta
say
get something.
No,
Bang, bang,
no.
bang, 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 bang.
I really do, please.
I don't think so.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yes, cautiously optimistic, considering that okay, we don't know the words that were said in the pictures from episode 12 and 13, all these pictures, but you can feel through these pictures that there is a shift. There has been a shift in the relationship. And
But I don't think coffee is the shift because she meets him in the morning.
I love you is the shift.
Yeah. Because like he's not with her in the bug when she pulls up, but when he gives her the coffee or whatever, they're separate in the morning.
I just
Maybe he
wanna
wants to get coffee, you know, as a good boyfriend.
I'm just gonna interrupt this conversation to give you an update from set. They are filming a Hook and Belle scene, so my theory of Hook working as Belle assistant still lives.
Yes.
Oh no.
He's surprisingly good at research.
Uh,
And
So
I just
when it
Yeah,
turns
but-
out to be true, you are just gonna eat your out.
I just
I
feel
don't
like
know.
with with the level of what's going to happen to him and the fact that she is so terrified of losing him and that she almost will in this episode, that at the end of the day she's going to need to be able to feel that he's tangible, that he's there, that he's not going anywhere. I'm not saying that we're going to visibly see it. I mean, this is ABC. It's 8 o'clock.
I mean,
We're
but
obviously
also-
not going to see it.
Aw.
we got the alcohol scene. And
I don't think we're going to see it at the end of the mid-season.
But
I think
just,
it depends. I think it really depends where in the episode Hook gets his heart back. If it's in the first half of the episode, then I think we might get it. If it's towards the end of the episode, then they're not going to have time.
That is a point, yeah. If it's like at the end of the episode, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
think it's in the middle.
who knows?
Those 3 words would be
It might
good.
be the last scene. You know.
Yeah.
I think the last scene has to be a cliffhanger of the Queens of Darkness arriving in town.
Yeah.
But I think that it could be the second to last scene.
Yeah, I could see a dissolve from Emma and Hook seemingly happy, clothes coming
Happy.
off, to, oh shit, the new Queens of Darkness are in town and they're not going to be happy for long.
Like them walking down Main Street or something. Yeah, something like that.
And I can see for B opening up with morning after and Killian leaving to go get coffee. And then Emma gets
You mean
called
real
in.
coffee?
And it's not exactly an unusual thing for one or both of them to wake up separate. Killian is a pirate. He's a Navy man, and he's used to waking up early, like at the crack of dawn. So if he gets up first and leaves to go get her coffee, that's viable. Completely.
Yeah, and then Charming calls them up for whatever reason. And
Yeah, but they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't put them in bed together at the end of the mid-season finale, and then like we come back 3 months later, and all of a sudden they're not still in bed together, or it's like one of them didn't stay the night or whatever. Then people would just be, "What the fuck?"
No,
Or
but
maybe
I'm
they
saying
are. And
They
maybe
did stay the night. He just is a good boyfriend and wants to get her coffee.
or
Yeah,
maybe-
but we'd have to actually see that.
Maybe
Well,
they
That
would-
would obviously be filmed in a studio and not in the streets of Stevenson.
I mean, maybe
Oh,
they.
yes. They didn't build that set.
You don't know that. Maybe they're hinting that.
Maybe we do get
We're
the scene.
they're exhibitionists, Serena? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Possible. You don't know
A little
their life.
Maybe
Well,
we
we have
do
seen
get.
those.
Maybe we do get the scene, but it's Emma that has to get up and leave first because she gets called to go down to the station. Or maybe because this is the first time that she's ever spent the night with somebody, she's a little on
Wait,
edge.
what?
This is not something that she's used to doing, so she decides to leave first. Anything's viable, you know?
But why would she
Well-
leave first and then be all arm around you, public PDA
Look, I'm just spouting
later?
out theories, okay? Maybe they won't
Like, that doesn't make
maybe
sense.
maybe we get a scene where they get up and she's got to go because she's got to get to the station, or she's got to get back to the lot before
Honestly-
parents wonder why she's
Honestly,
gone.
you know, I just had a thought. If we don't do it in the mid-season finale, if they don't have the sexy times, I think we're going to have to wait until Hook's flashback episode in 4B.
Oh, God.
You guys, there's enough fic out there. Like, you can get by, I promise.
No, I can't.
I will write you some, okay?
Yes, and they go into more
holding
detail
it
than.
back.
I don't believe this. I'm looking at all these pictures on Tumblr on set today. She's wearing
There's
a
an
winter
ad.
coat. She's wearing a winter coat, yeah, a beanie and gloves, and he's still just wearing the leather jacket. I'm like, I thought for sure now that he was wearing modern clothes, that once it started to get colder out, that he'd like wear a heavier coat,
Yeah, I
beanie,
know.
a scarf. But no, he's just wearing the. I'm like, dude, man, don't you ever get cold?
No.
Real.
No,
No,
it is
apparently
not.
it doesn't bother
No.
him.
It
No.
doesn't really get cold in Vancouver. Everybody else is just wimps. Like,
Well,
Vancouver does not have
Chicago.
winter.
But Jen's from Chicago and it gets cold there, so you think she'd be
Yeah.
used to it.
Well,
Sounds
apparently
wild.
she's spoiled by Hollywood or something, because it is not legitimately cold in Vancouver.
Or maybe it's written somewhere in his contract that the chest hair must be visible at all times.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And it's right after then Linda says he cannot go skiing. Seriously, his
Will
contract is like, you cannot go skiing. The chef's hair must be available at all times. Never stop smoldering.
You are not allowed to participate in any strenuous activities that could result in bodily harm. You must allow the chest hair to breathe freely at all times if visible. You must use the eyebrow on a continuous basis. Blah, 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 blah.
We've been trying to. Season 1. We want to keep you.
Oh God, I am so glad we got confirmation on that.
Yet again. I mean, I don't know how many more
Yeah.
times they can say it.
All the awards, I'm telling you, Captain Swan is like the ship of 2014.
Tumblr,
Oh yeah.
Tumblr,
TV Guide.
TV Guide, Kiss, second most watched show on Netflix. I mean, we win. We win.
Anyway,
The sweet smell of
Because
validation.
people are definitely not watching for Swan Queen on Netflix. Sorry. People, you know what it is? You know why all those
Watching
people are
for their
watching on
true
Netflix?
hatred.
All those people are watching on Netflix are people who are sitting on Tumblr watching all of us reblog all that Captain Swan, going, "Holy crap, who is that?" And I need to go get caught up. And then they run to Netflix and get caught up, and then they join our madness. It's a cycle.
I mean, I've seen posts.
ending cycle of Captain Swan.
I mean, I've seen posts from people who have never even watched a minute of this show, and yet they designate Captain Swan as an OTP just from GIFs alone.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's that post that has all the tags of the people who have never watched the show, and they're like, I love this show. I've never watched the show, but I love this couple.
And people who are like, I never watched the show, but they made me watch it.
Okay, we have a last question from Captain Charming Swan. Hey guys, love the podcast. You're doing a great job. Do you think the Captain Swan scenes this week will be more quality over quantity? Because I don't know how they're going to fit everything in. They should have kept the 2-hour episode for the mid-season finale.
That's what I think.
I agree with
Quality over
that.
quantity.
Totally.
Because they got to get rid of the
Quality.
frozen people. They've got a lot to do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quality over quantity. But that's okay, because we didn't think we were getting any Captain Swan this week, and we got 2 pretty awesome scenes where they weren't even in the same room, so
Oh God,
I'm good.
those idiots. I mean, here's Henrik telling him all he hates, and he's like, wait, he said that word? Together? He's
That's
like,
the
"Fuck
only thing he takes out of that conversation.
Oh yes, that and the fact that Will called her his girlfriend.
His
He's like,
girlfriend.
Yeah, he's my girlfriend.
You kind of tried there, Will.
Together,
try,
she
buddy.
used that word. Together.
Yes, she did. And earlier she even did in front of Regina.
Yes. Together and happy.
And I appreciate the fact that she keeps calling him Hook to other people, but when she's talking to him, she calls him Killian.
Except for the time when he had his hand. And then she was calling him Hook again.
Well, yeah, to get his attention, because he was like all spaced out.
It's literally the
remember-
only time she's called him Hook to his face this season
Right.
now, which is
Yeah.
just ironic.
Yeah. Because I don't think she sees him in that way anymore. Honestly.
She
Even
doesn't,
if-
but she has a thing for the hook.
Even
We
if
all know how to think for the hook.
even if this poor man's self-esteem is so low that he can't seem to see himself for the hero that he really is.
That's
I'm-
okay.
I-
He'll get there.
I just
That's
hope
what
by the
Forby's
end of this
about.
episode that, she'll impress upon him that he is.
Well, I
good
think it's going to
person.
take more than just this one episode. I'm pretty sure that's what
But
Hook's
this
arc
is the
in
start.
Forby is about.
This is the start.
Yeah.
They gotta start somewhere, though.
Although, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when they were, the article that we were talking about earlier, they were talking about the happy ending and the redemption arcs for the villains. They were talking about Regina and they were talking about Rumple. Hook was not mentioned at all.
Well, Hook's not a villain anymore. The only arc he has left for that is to accept himself as a hero.
Yes.
That's the point, that the media is no longer views him as a villain.
Well,
The
of course
haters-
not. Well, except
the
for
haters
Natalie
still
Abrams,
do.
she's a crazy person. But, she's a crazy, Neil stan. So we ignore
These-
her.
Hater people can't seem to see him as anything but everybody else is on the same track of train.
That's why
And
they're
everyone else
haters.
loves him.
He'll always be a pirate.
But pirate
But
is not
that's
necessarily
fine.
a bad thing.
Yeah.
And ding 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 ding.
Emma
Please
herself
admit-
separated it from villain back in
In Neverland.
season premiere of Neverland.
Yep. And I really hope that when we get his flashback episode where we hopefully finally figure out who the hell his dad is, that we get to, at some point, we get to see what kind of pirate he was, post Liam's death, pre Mila's death, because I need it.
I just want to see mini pirate, little Killian, baby Killian.
Oh.
I want little Killian. I want teenage
Infant Killian.
Give me teenage Killian, please.
Hey, that's only cool if we also get to see wee Liam.
Aww.
Definitely.
Unless, of course, Liam was already off at some naval academy or in the Navy or something when little Killian got left, then that's not cool.
Well, and hasn't that been our headcanon for forever?
Yes. Yes. And it will hurt me.
It will hurt me too.
But they could still have Bernard Curry come back and and find him. You know what I mean? Because our headcanon
want
says
that.
that Liam comes and finds him in this little podunk town.
I love how
and says,
how we
"Hey."
say our headcanon. Yes.
Okay, so any other thoughts on the episode? Any other comments?
Not
I'm
too
I'm
much.
glad
It
it's
wasn't really-
over so we can get to the good stuff.
First up was
Yes.
perfect.
I loved the flashbacks, especially the
Yes.
one where they're like, "Oh, I'm going to adopt you." I thought that whole scene was perfect.
Oh God. I
Oh
was
my
so
God.
serious.
I'm gonna miss Elizabeth Mitchell.
Seriously,
That
can't we
hurt
have
me.
her
Yes.
forever?
Because at the end of the day, she really did love her. She really
Yes.
wanted to care for her and be a mother to her and nurture her. She really did. She just
Can
went
somebody
about it the
remind
wrong
me
way.
of Frank?
We got to see that in this episode, whereas before we were being told it, "Oh, she has my drawings," but we
Yeah.
really saw it in this episode.
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
really well done.
this is for everyone. Can somebody write me a fic where she actually stays with her and how that changes everything? Come on. Fandom, I dare you. Write it.
Hear that, guys? Get right on that.
Although I actually thought it may have been better if we had gotten the flashbacks about Emma and Ingrid's relationship earlier, so we could have been more invested in their relationship and the fallout, because those were the flashbacks that made me invested, made me want them to make up, and then she was dead and it was already over.
He's gonna be a really, really big
Oh, and can we just point out that it's probably not all that long after she runs away from Ingrid that she meets Person.
Yep.
Likely, yes. Actually, do you
Well,
want to know?
it's a few years.
You
At
wanna know-
least,
She
hopefully.
was 13 or 14
No.
in the video, and she's at least 16 when she meets Neil.
You want to know what
And the
I was
hormones
really?
kick in, and she looks like J-Mo.
What I was really invested in, at least in the first flashback when she tried to run away, I wanted them to extend it a little bit more to the next morning and watch
Yes.
little pissant
Kevin.
upstairs
That
pee his
douchebag.
pants when there was a bunch of rubber spiders all over his bed.
Yeah.
I invested in this
On the
girl.
one hand, I found that hilarious, and on the other, I was absolutely horrified for Kevin. I was like, oh my god, this woman is a horrible foster parent to anyone but Emma. That is so
Don't
mean and
mess with Emma
cruel.
Swan.
Like,
Her
I hate
whole
spiders, and
her
that
whole
I found
reason-
very cruel.
Her whole reason behind becoming a foster parent was to find Emma in the first place.
I know, but it was like, I was horrified on behalf of Kevin, even though he was a giant shitbag.
Even funnier than that was when she first arrived in '82 and she walked into that psychic shop. I was like, no, this is not going to end well.
Like, no, how are you going to pay me?
Thank you. Payments, please. Like, this is not going to end well.
No.
It is not. And I'm gonna say it, but Ingrid has been a better mother to Emma than Snow has. There, I said it.
Ouch.
Well,
I disagree. She was there for like 6 months, and it ended with her
And
being
what
put
was
in front of
up?
a
And
car. Like, it's... I think while she was there and it was good, it was that was obviously a high-quality relationship and something that she didn't have. But the relationship with Snow is completely different.
Yeah, she was good to her in some ways, and she gave her encouragement and love. But Ingrid, at the time, her idea of what love was toxic. I mean, she pulled her out in the middle of the street, and she almost got run over by a car.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I mean, in the first one. In the first...
Yeah.
That scene in the parking. Not in the park. I mean, in the parade. What? Okay. Well, you get it.
But yeah,
Snow never really had an ulterior motive.
I think Snow tries, but it's like what Adam and Eddie said in season 3. You know, she doesn't know how to be a mother.
Well, and part of the problem is they haven't really given Snow a chance to try and be nurturing.
No,
Every
because
time she
well-
tries, something else comes up. And I
Well,
would
she
like
has
to
to-
Either to her baby or to Regina.
spend
Yeah.
some quality time with her daughter. That would be swell.
Yeah.
Thank
Not
God
her
for
stepmom.
parenting.
But you know, there is never a quiet moment in Storybrooke, so it's like they never seem to have the time. Shit's always going down.
Yeah, but
There's
when her
always a
daughter was
crisis.
missing, when her daughter was missing, she had time to talk about Regina's sex life.
This is true. This is true.
And speaking of Snow bonding with people, this is my hope for 4B that I get a decent Killian Snow scene. Someone give it to me. This is making me crazy.
We haven't even had, we had one decent Emma Snow scene
I'm
in
not
the
even sure
premiere
he's
when she
spoken to
called her
her.
out on kissing Hook.
Has Killian actually spoken directly to Snow?
I don't think so.
Not this
Not
season.
unless it's not of a personal nature. He's only spoken to her in context of other things that are going on.
That's what I
Villains and
thought.
such.
So I'm like, come on, show. He's the true love of her daughter, and she thought it was this other Yahoo. Can I please get some bonding time?
She hasn't
Well,
gotten over Neil yet.
She'd have to surgically remove herself from her baby first.
Oh,
For
yeah.
that to
Apparently
happen.
she's going to, because Ginny said that they're letting Snow do more stuff in 4B.
Hopefully.
So Bill or Will
And I
or
want more
Val.
Captain Charming.
I mean, I know there's at least one scene that's Emma and Hook and Snow and Charming doing something
Yeah.
in the woods. That's coming, so maybe I'll
Ooh,
get it
something.
Hi, you just made that dirty, bro. And that was not supposed to be made dirty.
then. No dirty thoughts there.
Seriously, bro. Seriously.
Unless Emma and Killian are finding a cave. No dirty thoughts there.
Oh, come on, but she caught them doing it. It's only fair she repaid a favor.
Oh, and since Flashback Emma talked about poofing like Harry Potter, is she gonna finally learn how to poof?
Oh,
Yeah,
please.
I'm
Come
sure.
on.
She needs to poof.
I need her to learn to poof.
Yeah, she's poofed hot chocolate. She needs to poof herself. She needs to poof clothing. She needs to, you know.
She needs to poof her and Killian to a bed.
She needs to
Yeah.
poof Killian into a bed. She needs to poof everyone out of the room so that Killian can have some alone time.
Yes, that is when it is totally acceptable for her to poof everyone to the next block. So they can
seriously,
get some.
Every other, I mean, Rumbell has had. We didn't see the Rumbell sexy time, but it was implied that it happened on the honeymoon, and they were living together before that. Regina and Robin have had their sexy time, and we saw
No.
way more of it than I needed to see.
We
And-
saw Regina.
and
We
we
saw
saw-
Rumble and Selena.
And we saw. I'm just talking about the actual like true love level couples here, and we saw Snowing in bed together. So this fact that CS still hasn't done the deed is kind of ridiculous.
Seriously.
I think they're waiting for an "I love you."
Which I think we're gonna get in like half a week.
Yeah, we're gonna get that on Sunday.
Yeah, in 3 days.
We need that.
I would like to see if they don't do it in the finale. If we do get an R I love you, then if they don't do it in the finale, they spend the first few episodes of 4B trying to find time to do it. They keep getting interrupted or some fuckery, and then we finally get to the Killian flashback episode, and then it happens because our first kiss happened in a Killian flashback episode.
And the first time I used the word love.
This is also true.
Okay, so you guys have any last comments?
I do not want the frozen people to go. Mainly.
I don't
know.
want them to go either, even though I know they have to.
Like, I don't want them.
Kristoff needs to be reunited with Sven. They need to go
That's
save
true.
Sven.
But
Yeah.
Charming won't get to go to Kristoff and Anna's wedding, and he was looking forward to that.
I love how they said in the interview that came out today how Cruella de Vil's car was more expensive than Sven.
Poor Sven.
Hey, Sven's awesome. Sven's a diva.
I know it's going to be a long, break for us, but we're used to it. We dealt with it last year. We can deal with it again. Speaking of, Serena,
Yes.
you gonna announce anything? Like, are you after next week's episode? Is that gonna be our last podcast until the show comes back, or are we gonna do more?
I don't know. Let me check the week. Okay, so next week's podcast. I'm looking at the calendar, and then it depends.
Week
It
after that's
depends.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas, and then the week after I'm not home, and then it's January. I don't know. I think it depends. If we get maybe some big news or some big spoilers to discuss, because we already did all the episodes, and
Right.
I don't know if you guys, I'm talking to the listener also, if you guys have any topics you want us to discuss during the hiatus, you can leave a message on Tumblr, on captainfunpodcast.tumblr.com, and yeah, we can decide after, because I don't have any ideas what we could talk about. But maybe some big spoiler will come out and we will want to talk about that.
Well, I was just thinking, if we did like one in January and one in February, and then the show comes back on the 1st, just to like get caught up on spoilers and stuff, that should be sufficient, I would think, unless something like really.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'll set up a day after I know my exam dates and everything, so we can do it when I don't have to study.
Yeah, I do have to say, for me personally, I have finals next week. I'm going to be busy. I got papers to write and lots of last minute stuff to do for the end of term. So if you want to wait until after Christmas break, after the new year to come back and do a couple before the new episode, I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, after the next
January.
after the next podcast for the finale, the next one after that will definitely be next year because the year is over.
Christmas!
And while everyone is waiting for us to come back, rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah.
Yes. Come on,
Yes.
guys. Write and review us. It takes 5 minutes, seriously. Or less.
Okay.
Probably less.
So since we are talking about this, I guess you guys don't have any other comments on the episode, and we can end this.
I'm gonna miss Kristoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Warn Kristoff next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
Save
I have
your
to
tears
finish.
for next week.
I have to remember. I have to finish every podcast with a comment about Kristoff.
Vi's last word.
Okay, so I guess we are done here, and we will be back next week to talk about the finale, which hopefully will deliver. And thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.